The views and opinions expressed by the hosts and guests do not necessarily state or reflect those of the company and its management. Furthermore, the assumptions, views, opinions, and insinuations made by the host and guests do not reflect those of the show, the management, and the network. In addition, all copyrighted material is used without permission and will be removed with notification from the rightful owners or their agent. So there.
From the deepest depths of the interweb to all the ships at sea.
You found Just Killing Time. On Radio TFI.
John Shannon, Bill Fancher, Ed Van Ness. Join the conversation. You can reach the guys at 754-800-CHAT. 754-800-2428. On social media, search for Radio TFI USA. From a payphone, call collect.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
My fellow Americans, our long national nightmare is over.
Well, good morning, kids and kittens. We trust you've had a fine and fantastic week. I am not John Shannon. I am Ed Van Ness. John Shannon is on special assignment. We expect to see him at some point today. You have found Just Killing Time here on the Radio TFI streaming network. It is Sunday, July 7th, 2024. We got a lot to talk about today. I'm coming to you from high atop the Radio TFI Executive Tower in Queens, New York. And also joining us from is the 1975 Monticello, Florida watermelon queen, Bill Fancher. Good morning, Bill. How are you today?
Well, we'll see how it goes.
By the way, that contest went nicely and handy when you won with the 1965 Rush Springs, Oklahoma watermelon queen crown that you won too. So that was two. Would you care to talk about that? Oh, I'm sorry. So moving on. Again, John's not with us at the moment. We expect to hear from him anytime now. He could just burst right in here. We got a lot to talk about today, kids and kittens. We want to hear from you today, please. If you're joining us, give us a call, 754-800-CHAT, 754-800-2428. Watching us on YouTube, you can comment. We'll read your comments live on the air, and we'll answer as many as we can, as much as we can, if we can, when we can, maybe, as John likes to say. But in the meantime, before we get going on anything else, on all the good stuff, let's. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, goody.
Bill, are you excited?
Oh, goody. Oh, goody.
Bill knows what's about to happen. Are you ready? Bill, you got anything else you'd like? Oh, by the way, Bill, you're in Texas, correct?
Last time I checked.
Last time you checked. And what's the situation with Hurricane Beryl?
Who knows?
Who knows? Let me put it this way.
I don't live on the coast. I don't give a crap.
So you're not in any immediate danger, so it's irrelevant.
Oh, hell no.
Okay, just so we're clear on that. So let's get this out of the way. I think we all know what it's time for right now. It's the Radio TFI Market Watch, brought to you by Pete and Tony's down by the highway. Oh my goodness, what happened? Uber closed the week at $71.06, down $1.62. Lyft closed the week at $13.33, just about at lunch money, down 77 cents. Tesla was the only winner this week. They closed the week up $53.64 to $51.52. And finally, everybody's favorite ex-president, Trump Industries closed at $29.17, down another $3.58. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, as always, we like to bring you the best from Pete and Tony's. If you go over to any Pete and Tony's location now, they are proud to showcase the ultimate in self-preservation, the Supreme Court immunity idol. When this gets played, get ready for real-life Survivor. While these replicas have no actual power for you and me, just imagine the thrill of making believe you can get away with murder on Fifth Avenue or anywhere else. Available at all Pete and Tony's locations. That's the Supreme Court immunity idol. That's for you guys. This has been the Radio TFI Market Watch. Thanks for playing our game. All right. Bill liked that one, didn't you, Bill?
I gotta get me one of them.
Yeah, we got a box of them being shipped to the various Radio TFI stations, studios across the nation.
Bonus.
Big week this week. As far as speaking of immunity idols, the Supreme Court has ruled in some twisted piece of logic that presidents have immunity for all official acts.
Limited immunity, they like to say.
Well, limited only by the scope of your imagination.
Yeah, exactly.
The limit seems to be only for official acts, but you cannot use a president's motive for the act to determine whether it was official or not. So theoretically, everything is an official act or is somehow attached to an official act. This
is what it's so ridiculous because, yeah, you can constitute anything he does as an official act, but you've got to have it in the confines of what his job is. So as stupid as the decision is, as stupid as it is, I understand the intent. They tried to say they don't want to have every president that leaves office getting tried and all this kind of stuff. But the bottom line is, hey, if you commit crimes when you're the president, it's amazing how it never happened to any other president. Would we have 45 presidents and not a single one of them got arrested for anything?
Right. Well, since look, the whole thing is no one is above the law, correct? And
I am.
Well, you're retired. That's why. you have staff to take the hit for you. That's exactly a whole other topic for another time. But we have that phrase, no one is above the law. We've heard it. I didn't make it up. Bill certainly didn't make it up. He likes to take credit for it, but he didn't. But let's see where we've heard that before. Who could have possibly said it?
In the United States, that's a foundational principle that I've talked about, coming from Federalist 69, coming from the structure of the Constitution.
I don't think the president is above the law. No person in this country, no matter how high or powerful, is above the law.
I believe that no one is above the law under our system, and that includes the president. The president is fully bound by the law.
No man is above the law.
Does he have that power?
No man is above the law, Senator.
I agree. No one is above the law.
So,
can we have them arrested for lying to Congress?
Well, that would be next. So now you've got that's all these Supreme Court justices that voted on this, saying in their confirmation hearings that no one is above the law, and yet, look, our founders anticipated Donald Trump. They didn't anticipate a corrupt and compliant Supreme Court, though. So this is the problem. Now, as everyone keeps saying, You've got this will in effect allow Trump to act as a king, a dictator, et cetera, et cetera. But don't forget, right now Biden has those same powers.
That's it.
Now, and we'll talk about what Joe Biden's situation here a little later. We plan on definitely getting into that, getting in the weeds with that. So now, what would you rather have? Would you rather have somebody that has proven himself beyond the shadow of a doubt to be a con man, a liar, a thief, and certainly out for his own good and nobody else's? Or somebody who has worked tirelessly for most of his life through a lot of grief and heartache, I might add you, who basically is out for the good of the country as opposed to the good of himself for his own good. I mean, who do you want to give those powers to? I know it's a toughie.
God, that's tough.
You know, people are freaking.
Let me flip my magic coin.
Right. People are freaking out over a 90-minute debate, but they don't seem to have a problem with 10 years of this nonsense, especially the mainstream media. And that goes for you, MSNBC. That goes for everybody. Okay. You're spending countless time now talking about Biden's age. And again, you know what? We're going to set that aside for now. It's a
non sequitur.
Right. I know they're kind of intertwined, but so now, again, getting back to the immunity, why? What really would a president need to do that would be against the law that he should get away with?
Exactly.
Do we really need that? Do we really need that? And by the way, if there were extenuating circumstances to it, well, then in a court of law that would come to pass. Many people have, I don't want to say gotten away with, but have escaped punishment because there were extenuating circumstances. Now, is it true that politicians would drag former presidents in, every day? Possibly, but probably only the Republicans. Because let's face it, kids and kittens, they're idiots. They're idiots. They're assholes, and it's not about you. Trust me. If you think it's about you, you are sorely mistaken. Sadly mistaken. Remember, if you're collecting Social Security bill, or you're about to, like me, in a few years, will that be there? Not if they have their way. Remember, they refer to this Social Security as an entitlement. Of course, I'm entitled to it.
It was my money.
That's right. That is absolutely correct. You want to do away with Social Security? Fine. Give me what's due me plus interest.
Stop taking it out of my friggin' paycheck.
That's right. That's right.
They've been using Social Security to fund all sorts of programs over the last 50, 60 years.
Mm-hmm.
That money, there would be trillions of dollars in that if they had left it the hell alone or paid back what they kept saying, we're going to borrow it for this and we'll pay it back. Yeah, Social Security should be like a loan shark. You don't pay, we're going to come break your thumbs.
Well, like Trump likes to say about NATO.
Yeah, don't pay. We'll let Russia invade.
We'll let them in, sure.
I'm pooping at my kitchen table, drinking coffee.
The nice country you got there. Shame if something happened to it. But
yeah, exactly.
I have known people who are collecting Social Security benefits because of parent died or some disability thing, something that has nothing to do with retirement. And that's where all that money went. That's why there's no money in Social Security. My money is long gone. We're taking the money from the youngsters right now, and there'll be nothing left for them. This will definitely be unless that all changes. And the other thing they want to get rid of is Medicare. Well, I just got on Medicare.
So,
what?
those two are intertwined. You're going to get rid of Social Security. Medicare is going to go with it because they're
That
basically, they're the
intertwined.
same. They're the same entity. It's kind of like taking your heart out. Okay, well, we'll see how
Right.
long you last.
As I found out recently, upon turning the ripe old age of 65, that, oh yeah, this is all kind of one big thing. So remember, they think this is an entitlement. Now you've worked 40, 50 years, 60 years. You've gotten to the point where you can, and again, this is where I am right now. I can see the end. I see the light at the end of the tunnel. My only problem is now I'm not sure if it's daylight or if it's an oncoming freight train. And, I don't need. This is what they want to do for you folks. They want to take it all away, and this is what a lot of the older people need to do. They need to turn off Fox, Newsmax, OAM. The proposed cuts in Project 2025, and we'll get to that as well in a little bit. They're literally going to kill us. Literally, I mean, if you don't have other money stuffed away. Look, it's bad enough you walk into Walmart or forget Walmart. You walk into places, there's people in their late 70s that had to go back to work. Can't afford to live. We are probably the only society that disrespects its senior citizens like this. What's he going to do to our veterans? Now, I know, Bill, that's a very sore spot for you as well it should be. But again, this all comes back to the immunity. Again, it's not Survivor. This is real life Survivor. What? I still don't know what he has over everybody.
Please tell me. I would love to know. Can't be everybody, for crying out loud.
It's this image that they have of making America great again. And I watched a piece the other day where somebody was asking, okay, we make America great again. When were we great? And there's no.
When were we not?
When were we not? And that's of course has always been my question. What do you mean great again? You mean we're not great now?
Yeah.
We weren't great, Look, my theory is these people want this country to be a 1950s sitcom where everybody's white, mom and dad, two and a half kids. The only people of color you see are there for comedic effect, or they're domestic workers, or not really part of everyday life, if you know what I mean.
Well, so, and you ask anybody that was alive during the 50s.
It was never like that.
And they'll tell you the same thing. It wasn't like that anyway.
It wasn't like that at all. It wasn't like that at all. I mean, what you want to take? Okay, so let's. Again, we're shifting off here. I want to stay on the immunity thing. So we've watched Trump now go along on his merry little way, just wreaking havoc on this country, or wrecking havoc, depending on your point of view. And this is with court cases hanging over his head. Court cases. Imagine now when he gets the immunity. Imagine now when he has basically been given that get out of jail card. You don't even need to know where the jail is. No. Because you're never going to see it. Now, the idea of somebody running for president with all these court cases over their head was, it's been mentioned before. We're going to take a listen here to Judge Janine Pirro. Let's listen to what she had to say about, 8 or 9 years ago.
Hillary Rodham Clinton or Donald J. Trump doesn't matter. There is only one person you can vote for. We cannot have a country led by a president subject to ongoing criminal investigations, potential indictment, and never-ending hearings. We cannot have a president under that level of scrutiny that inevitably leads to even more questions and more investigations. And irrespective of what happens to her, whether she's indicted or even guilty, it doesn't matter. Her guilt is a moot point. She cannot take the Oval Office. Now, in any other business, when the head of a corporation is plagued by scandal, that person steps down and is replaced because the board knows a business cannot succeed without respect and authority.
You know, respect my authority.
Respect my authority.
All you need to do there. Thank you. All you have to do there is replace the name Clinton for Trump and he for she. And what she
I
said,
did like the fact that she said she. It was going to be she. Everything was she.
well, she said this like 9 years ago.
Uh-huh.
This goes back to the 2016 election, when of course they were going to haul Hillary in for all manner of, whatever she did.
Nothingness.
Nothingness. That woman has sat in front of more hearings and put up with their nonsense, and they could never get anything on her. So, and again, that's just another case of whatever they accuse others of, it's just projection.
Yeah, they've already done what they're accusing you of.
And I mean, this brings to light the whole immunity thing. We certainly need to change how the Supreme Court is managed, how people are named to it.
I have a suggestion for this. Now, how many districts are there throughout the United States right now? Judicial districts. Well, there's 11 main districts, right?
That's right. And we have 9.
Right. So you need to appoint 2 more Supreme Court justices. You've got basically one per district. You need to appoint 2 more, expand the court, appoint 2 more. I don't give a crap if Biden gets to do it. I just don't want to see Trump do it. So if Biden does it, let's get him on the board, get it done, get it over with, and move on. But you can't keep allowing the Supreme Court to be political. You took an oath as a judge. You're not taking an oath as a senator or a congressman. It's not a freaking political job.
And
or at least it didn't used to be.
Well, let's all give a big hello and pat on the back to Anita Hill, because she saw this.
Yes, she did.
She did. Well, you're right, Bill. You're right. There needs to be changes. I like the suggestion that a Supreme Court justice's term runs no more than 18 years. This way, eventually everything, as retirements come up, I mean, you're going to have deaths and retirements in there, early retirements. But for the most part, every president will get the opportunity to name a Supreme Court justice, maybe 2. Let's face it, what happened with Merrick Garland was ridiculous. I mean, what's his name? Mitch McConnell, who's been very quiet lately, by the way.
Amazingly.
Stroke. Oh, if only. They're making up rules as they go along, and we as Democrats and liberals just kind of let them. That's really that's the overarching solution. Now, again, if you're watching, listening, please, we want to hear from you. Give us a call, 754-800-CHAT. If you're on YouTube, you can comment directly there. We'll see it. If you're not watching us on YouTube, go to YouTube, like and subscribe.
If you're not watching us on YouTube, go to YouTube. Okay.
Go to YouTube. Yeah,
if you're not watching us on YouTube, go to YouTube.
Well, we have folks watching us on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
See, Bill doesn't understand how the meat and potatoes works, the nuts and bolts here at the big radio TFI.
It's like on the back of your Social Security card. It says, "In the event of death, please notify the Social Security Administration." Oh, hey, I'm dead.
I get it. I know what it sounded like to you because you don't understand. We do. See, Bill doesn't understand that we're broadcasting out to multiple sources. Why? Because
And all
Bill
the ships at sea on the Armed
Oh,
Forces Services Network.
Bill shows
Oh,
up.
me.
Bill shows up on Sunday with fire in his heart.
My little script.
His little script, which just has his name on it in case he forgets.
I forget occasionally.
But anyway, come to YouTube. Join us over here. We'll and of course, you can call us by phone, 754-800-CHAT, 754-800-2428. Phone lines are open. If you're on a payphone, call collect. Moving on. Since we're talking about the Supreme Court, remember, the Supreme Court knew exactly what it did, and not just for Trump's past crimes, but for the future. They kept them on the ballot in those states where they limited the law used to prosecute January 6th, and they've granted him immunity. The court knows it's empowering Trump and his supporters for the future. This is no secret here. You're giving this man power that he is just thirsty for and will certainly abuse the living daylights out of it. Whoever thinks they're going to come out of this smelling like a rose is sadly mistaken. I'm no student of history, but I know quite often in these cases of how long has a coup, an overthrown government, actually ever lasted, Bill?
I don't know. Look at Fidel.
I'd rather not, thank you.
Cuba's probably about the only one that had ever worked.
You think so? You think
was
it did work?
But was that actually a coup, or was it just a freaking takeover? I'm not sure how that one actually happened.
Well, remember, for the longest time, they also had the backing of the
Russia.
USSR, the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
So that's what kept them going all those years. Was help from Russia. Remember, because Cuba's an island 90 miles off of Key West. They've got no real industry. They're still driving cars that are older than you and I.
Everybody goes, God, boy, isn't it cool how they got all those classic cars? Yeah, yeah, it's really cool. And everybody's smoking cigars, and there's your economy.
What have we told you about yelling? You blow this a second. Bill blew us right off the air about audio and visual. You can't yell. I know you're excited. The things I've heard about Havana back in the day, it was just it was a paradise. My ex's parents honeymooned in Havana. There was talk about Major League Baseball putting a team in Havana. That's how wonderful they were doing. And then we had a dictator come in, and folks, for all you MAGAs out there, you maggots and MAGAettes, look around at every place that's had a dictator or a one-party rule. Look and see how
well they've done.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the immunity is just the beginning of that. Because if you think for the briefest of seconds, Trump gets his hands on that it's going to be, oh, sure. Look, I was having a conversation about this the other day with a person of color. And I said, the only good news for me is that I won't be in the front of the line when they come after people. Oh, they'll come after me. But because I'm a tall white dude, they'll leave me be for a little bit while until they figure it out. And look, I know we're a little fish in a very big pond here on Radio TFI, but I promise you, they will eventually come for us. They will, they'll hear the way we speak. We're a little nothing. I get that, but they will leave no stone unturned. So,
Mhm.
know,
Well, now I have a question for you, Ed.
Sure.
I'm assuming that this is generally the case in each state, since I've not lived in all 50 of them. Do you or do you not in New York elect your Supreme Court justices?
Do.
Yeah. Is there some reason we can't do that federally?
I'm not going to lie. I don't know what the
It
Constitution
seems to
says.
work in every damn state I've ever been in.
I hear what you're saying. And but then again, you can use the argument that it being the well, as the name implies, the Supreme Court. Hang on, I'm getting there. That this is the theory. I know what you're going to say. Just let me finish. That we can't dilly-dally waiting for elections. I know the time frame. It all depends on how Mitch McConnell's mood that week, on how quickly we can get it done or when we can get it done. I get that. I am not opposed to the president appointing a Supreme Court nominee. What I would like to see happen, to be quite honest, is have a bullpen, if you will. A three or four,
Bring in the lefty.
Yeah, 3 or 4 people already confirmed, pre-confirmed, if you will. And when someone retires or passes away, bring in the lefty. Bring in who's that, give the president the choice of, who's ever there.
Now here's basically where all the trouble started, and I'm gonna probably catch hell for this because I believe it, but I don't believe it. Most of this stems back to RBG.
Okay.
She stayed on the court just a little bit too long, and she allowed Trump to do what he's doing.
Right. You're not wrong. She was a very intelligent woman.
Yes.
She was not a youngster. She should have seen this. She should have retired when she had the opportunity. And right now we'd be at a 5-4 with the chance of, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I mean, I won't spend the rest of my days blaming her.
No, I mean, I can understand, her logic and and she was a great Supreme Court justice. I mean, she did a lot, and I'm not knocking her, but it just, that goes to the point of a lifetime appointment. I mean,
Right.
There's got to be limits. They're complaining about Biden being 81 and being feeble and all this. Come on, how many Supreme Court justices were in their 80s when they were still on the court? Quite a few. I bet you go back and check. There's quite a few.
Well, you can go into Congress. How many people?
Yeah, how many of them been in their freaking 90s and still in Congress?
Yeah, I'm barely able to make it into the chambers, if they make it in at all. Nancy Pelosi, for one. What's her name? Feinstein, that just passed away.
Yeah, just passed away. And then wasn't there one from North Carolina or something like that?
He served till he was over 100. He was over 100. And
they have to push him in a wheelchair so he could push the button to vote. Damn good and well he wasn't making any decisions.
No. At that point, he was, he didn't even get to choose what flavor pudding.
No, they complained about Nancy Reagan running the country for the last 2 years that Ronnie was in office. So what's the difference?
Right, and I saw a point last night that really, really hit home with me. I didn't save it, but here's the general idea. Remember, when you vote for a president, this is a person that's going to appoint people. Okay? The president is not running the country by themselves. He's the top dog. He's at the top of the ladder. He's the top of the hill. But he's turning to his advisors. He's not an expert on everything. He's not even close to an expert on anything. But he goes to the people, explain it to me, do this, how are we looking here, and all that. So stop and think about this. Maybe you hate Biden, and maybe you think he's a doddering old man. But what's your option? Attorney General Stephen Miller? I mean, come on. You get Trump in, forget now, once he has the power of immunity, once he has the immunity, he's just going to name everybody he wants. We talked about this a little bit last week. People that have been in these jobs, civil servants, the nuts and bolts, okay? You may sell me a car and hand me the keys, but the engine doesn't change. Maybe I drive it different places and I drive it differently. I drive it harder than you do, but all the nuts and bolts are still there to keep it running. And that's what Trump will likely get rid of. Oh, you're not loyal to me? See ya.
Well, I got to believe, and I really got to hope that the civil servant people, all of these government people that won't, yeah, I know what you're going to say, that won't allow this to happen. They'll do their jobs and block this kind of stuff. Yeah. And the minute they do, they're going to get fired or stuff like that.
Right.
Well, you know what? Let's give them immunity. You can't fire me. No, I have a lifetime appointment.
Who's going to give them immunity? You don't
Exactly.
you don't think
I don't know. I can do it. Dominus Spiritus Sanctus. There you go.
And while it seems to be a big thing, and I've never played the game and I don't really understand it, apparently there's a reverse Uno card you can put into play.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure how that works.
If you don't put it up on your forehead, you're in trouble. That was your fault, not mine.
Look, if I take the cooties vaccination, then look, again, that's the problem. You start pulling out spark plugs and wires and oil caps and all that good stuff, that car's eventually going to come to a screeching halt. Yes, these are minor things. Yes, I understand
It only takes
that.
a couple minor ones to...
That's pull out 2 spark plugs on a car.
It's a perfect example of the old joke of the human body getting together and they're all deciding who has to be in charge. The brain says, I should be in charge because I do. The heart says, no, without this. And the lungs say, no, with no oxygen. And the poor little asshole says, I should be in charge. And they all laugh. So the asshole stops working. And about 8 days later, hey, maybe we should do something about it. It just proves that you don't have to be a brain, just an asshole.
Well, there you go. There you go. It's not. You're not wrong there, Pally boy. You're not wrong. 754-800-CHAT. 754-800-2428. Give us a call. We want to hear from you. We take all sides. We want to listen to all opinions. Watch us on YouTube. Like, subscribe, and you can comment right there if you don't want to actually talk to Bill. And I understand. I have to talk to Bill.
Nobody wants to talk to me.
Wants to talk to Bill. It's
I
a
have
sad
friends that won't even answer their phones anymore. So
even Hurricane Beryl won't come close to Bill.
no.
Beryl is steering through.
Where's my Sharpie? I'll draw this thing going the other direction.
Oh, Fancher's there in Wichita? No. Gotta go. Gotta go. Pack your bags. So again, I think it's pretty obvious that we think the immunity is a bad thing. Unless Biden, look, he needs to use that power.
But he won't. I know. I agree with you. He won't do it. He's too honorable of a man to do it. He's been in politics way too long to know that it's wrong.
But, and I don't disagree with you, but suppose he used the power of immunity, the power he has now, to wipe away that immunity.
Yeah, I was going to say they'd find some way to say, well, we only meant Donald Trump. You don't get this special dispensation.
Well, let's do that. Let's put it to the test. Let's have.
Yeah, why not?
Now you put it to the test. Now you have the Supreme Court make them say, no. This is only for Herr Trump. Let's let them say that. That's actually a good idea, Bill. Good for you. Bill Fancher had a good idea. We don't expect it often, but
it does occasionally.
It's
golf clap.
Golf clap. You got your golf clap. I have a bunch of notes that I took during the week, some comments and all that. I'd like to go through a few of them. We're kind of shifting off the immunity thing now, and just in general, what's going on. This is just a casual reminder that Germans who didn't bother to vote in 1932 didn't get a chance again until 1946 after Hitler's death. There's a lesson there. So A, vote. B, do what you can. We want to get rid of this immunity.
But you're making the quantum leap assumption that people learn from history. A lot of people out there that you got to beat in the head with a stick to get them to understand what's going on.
I know a lot of people are just, everybody's on this. Biden is old. Biden is decrepit. And by the way, since we're shifting to this now, I want to say I am deeply disappointed in George Stephanopoulos.
Are you talking about the interview?
The interview. I am
I saw it the other day.
Disappointed because all he did was harp on Biden's age and health. Fine. You want to talk about that for 5 or 10 minutes? That's fine. But it just went on and on and on. The man said he's going to run. Maybe that changes. Who knows? Take him at his word. Take him at his word. Until you get Trump sitting there answering the same questions that he's going to lie to you about anyway. Until the day Donald Trump does a real news conference with real reporters and real reporters start asking real questions. And for freaking... Yeah, I'm sorry. I got Bill.
That's the funniest damn thing you've ever said, Ed.
Yeah, I thank you. I doing my level best.
Holy smokes, that's better than Mel Brooks. Okay. The sheriff is near.
I'm going to move on the shit. I'm not going to do that. No. In hour two, once we get through the silliness of hour two, I want to talk a little bit. We're going to talk about Project 2025 and all the fun and
we
good.
Have to?
Oh, we will. We will.
It makes my brain hurt.
Be that as it may. Be that as it may. Speaking of the Nazis, and
yeah, Dad. Gee, what kind of that was not a back turn. That was just around the corner. Here we are.
Well, we were just talking about people couldn't vote in Germany. So remember this. Excuse me. The Nazis rose to power legally. This is from at Decoding Fox News on the Twitter. The Nazis rose to power legally.
You're breaking up, Ed.
Every mechanism that they used to take complete control was within. Oh, we all froze up there for a moment. Were you able to hear me through all that?
No.
No.
Sounded like
okay, I'm going to
Headroom.
repeat. All right. How do I sound now?
Much better.
Okay. I'm going to repeat that because we had a little technical difficulty there. So again, from Decoding Fox News, the Nazis rose to power legally. Every mechanism they used to take complete control was within the laws of the Weimar Republic. Once they got total power, they didn't give it up until millions were dead at their hands and parts of Germany were flattened. This goes back to the immunity problem. Once they can start making their own law, they don't even have to abide by laws anymore. And then we're going to follow up on that. In March of 1993, the Enabling Act became law in Germany, giving the chief executive power to enforce his own laws without checks and balances. Sound familiar? The passing of the act marked the formal transition from democratic republic to totalitarian. I can't say it.
Dictatorship.
Dictatorship. 6 months later, it was a one-party state. Thank you, Bill. So that's what you can look forward to, folks. If you think for a second that he's going to just set that immunity aside and use it later in the game when it's convenient and when it makes more sense for him. By the way, that's a Survivor reference. No, he's going to take it right away and just run with it, or stumble with it, or wheeze with it, and we're all going to pay a huge price for that. And you will see. Keep in mind, part of with Project 2025, which we'll talk about in detail a little bit more in hour 2. But when Project 2025 started, when they start knocking on doors, loading up queer people, Muslims, immigrants, young women, minorities, the disabled, the poor, and anti-MAGA people into trains headed for camps, you won't give a damn about Biden's debate skills. If you don't think this could ever happen, you're not paying attention.
No, you're not. Gee, isn't that right out of the Nazi playbook?
It pretty much is.
I mean, verbatim. Let's go get everybody who's non-white, that's caused any problems whatsoever in their life,
or micros,
And I honestly, as a veteran, I can say that there is, I can't imagine there's any way that he could get the military behind him. Well, he can't even get his wife behind him, for Christ's sake.
Well,
that's. But I can't see it happening because most of these generals and officers, and I'm not even going to say officers, I'm going to say the enlisted people, going to go, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going over there to do this. That is not my job. My job is to protect this country, not destroy it. Right, and you have the right as an official of anything in the military to disobey an immoral order. And if he tells me that I got to go take out Ted Cruz, as much as I want to do it, it's an immoral order. I still
Ted Cruz.
I'd be frothing if they asked me that, but I know I can't do it. So,
I believe that if it comes down to hurting up and shooting American citizens on American soil, I think you're going to see there are some that will do it blindly and follow him blindly.
It's all the bubbas out there that are following him blindly. They'll do it anyway.
Right. But I do believe that overall military I think then we wind up with a military coup.
Yeah. And it wouldn't surprise me in the least.
Actually, at that point,
I would hope what we used to say in the military, he's a 35-cent solution.
I thought it was a 35% solution.
No, 35-cent solution. That's it. It's what it costs for me to buy a bullet.
Apropos of nothing, I want to show you guys this, and my apologies to the folks on the radio, but we'll explain it in a second. Fun fact: if you put dots on Don the Con's signature, it looks like a Klan rally.
Pretty much does, doesn't it?
Take Trump's signature. What this image is, it's Trump's signature, and then below it is Trump's signature again with 2 dots for eyes in every peak, and it does look like a Klan rally. So
nice.
That's one of my favorites.
Huh.
I was happy I came across that this week.
Things that make you go,
Yeah, so all those folks running around in robes and all that, they're cheering and all that. Oh, by the way, apropos of nothing yet everything, another member of the Patriot boys, the Proud Boys, the idiots that ride in the back of U-Haul trucks with their masks on because they're such big men. They're afraid to show their faces. Well, another one of them got locked up for child porn. So,
no, he must have been a Democrat.
Yeah. By the way, of all the people locked up for child porn lately, not one of them has been a drag queen. What do you know about that?
Amazing? Isn't that amazing how that happens?
A drag queen to a 5-year-old.
I stay, well, and I stay as young as I am by drinking the blood of dead children.
Oh, who doesn't?
No, I mean, isn't that standard?
Here in New York State, it's mandatory at 65.
Yes.
It gets delivered to your door. I get 2 quarts every week.
What the hell?
Come on, people. Get with it. And by the way, to a 4-year-old, a drag queen is just a good smelling clown.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
Nice smelling clown. That's all.
We had a bunch of clowns at school today. Well, yeah, in numerous ways you can say that. But you never, it is amazing. You never hear drag queens being convicted of anything, arrested for anything. I mean, it just, when was the last time? I don't know.
Look, let's be realistic here. There are some drag queens out there that have had their issues over the years, but not
perhaps.
Kids and, but the ones that are going to the libraries to read are not, and kids are not. You mean to tell me you will give your kid your phone or your tablet for hours at a time to keep them entertained? Lord knows what they're seeing, and yet somebody takes the time to volunteer to come in and read stories to them using funny voices and, acting out the stories and making, helping with their imagination. And again, to the kids, it's just a clown that smells nice. I got to write that down, by the way.
You might want to copyright that.
I think so. But this you have a problem with. Like, nobody's asking you to go out and have cocktails with them afterwards. Remember, you don't know what your kid's kindergarten teacher is up to after hours.
Kidding. And you know what? Whatever she's doing after hours or he's doing after hours is none of your damn business.
That is,
if they're teaching your kids in a proper manner and everything else, and what they do on their own time, none of your damn business. Not business, it's business.
Yeah, business with a D.
And none you.
So I'm actually writing this down because I don't want to forget it. Look, I don't have that many here. I don't have that many good lines that I.
And by the way, I released the hounds about 10 minutes ago looking for John. Really? I've heard nothing back. So,
hopefully, John is deep undercover right now on assignment.
I think he's fighting Garzura.
Now you're gonna make me look, aren't you? Now you're gonna make me look, you bastard.
When you're not ready, not prepared.
I hate you, Bill Fancher. I hate you.
I've
by
never
the way,
heard that before.
By the way, apropos of nothing here at the end of the hour, I watched the two problems. I watched the new Godzilla Kong movie.
Okay. Why?
Asking myself the question now, why? But even worse, I rented it.
Oh, Lord.
Wait. No, I was anxious to see it. And then 2 days later, it showed up on my Max app, my streaming.
Of course. I saw it. Yeah, I saw it yesterday. I thought, boy, that didn't last long in the theaters, did it?
Well, the movie itself just wasn't. It just
kind of like The Flash.
That's it. Well, I'm talking about the movie itself, the story and all that. It just and The Flash, other than I'm Batman, that really had me. And again, I'm a DC guy, and we've talked about this before. I want it to be good. Look, I was Back in '89, I was one of those. What? Mr. Mom is Batman? No way. Now I'm happy. I'm happy he did it. So I was happy to see I'm Batman back in. But it's a shame. And the person that played the Flash, who was one of those that goes by they. It's very confusing when they were talking about. He's out. He's got convicted of drugs or something, and he's got a whole mess of problems. So you won't be seeing him no more. As Clemens said,
no Flash too.
How about these people anyway? I mean,
no.
DC.
Well, he played the Flash. He had to stay ahead of everybody.
DC has not managed to do the universe. They're trying to copy Marvel, and they keep rushing it and putting out crap instead of letting it build, letting it, I understand there's money at stake here, but you know what? If you keep throwing crap at the screen, even the fanboys at a point are going to go, no, I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to pass. I got one more thing. Going back to the serious stuff we were talking about from Alan Analysis on the Twitter. The world's greatest democracy collapsed due to a reality TV game show host after one political party lost its sanity following the election of a black president.
Yeah, I wonder where that came from.
Yeah, it is a shame really, because they did go back guano crazy. After
and you have to remember, the only reason Trump ran was to get rid of everything Obama had done. That was his main thing, and that's probably why you got. Now I'm going to say this: all these bubbas out there. I know a lot of people that are Trump supporters. They're not MAGAs; they're Trump supporters, and I wouldn't call them bubbas.
Uh-huh.
When I say bubbas, I'm talking about the John Shannon hillbillies from north, up there in the mountains, that they coming down with their Mountain Dew and they just dangling everything out there.
You watch your mouth by Mountain Dew.
Well, I'm talking about original Mountain Dew, the real stuff.
Yahoo, Mountain Dew.
But I mean, okay, these people have been up in the hills for thousands of years and never cared about anything but the revenuers. And now you give them the right to vote and franchise them and everything, and look what's happened. There's got to be a certain level of leaving these people alone.
Well, you know what happens when you rattle that bee's nest.
Exactly.
So we've done our best here in hour number one, where we're slowly making the turn. Stop at third here for a moment. We're stopped here at third base. We're waiting for the bunt. Do we wait for him to swing, or do we steal home? That's the question. Doesn't seem to. Anyway, getting back to all this we were talking about in hour one, the immunity thing is stupid. It belongs on game shows. It has no purpose in our politics, especially the highest office in the land. If our presidents cannot be held accountable for their actions, then they're not presidents anymore. They are dictators. They are kings. We do not have kings here. Ex the British. They'll tell you how that all went. We built the whole musical.
They don't technically have kings anymore anyway. Their king is pretty much just a figurehead.
But they still go to the king, go to the royal family for certain things, to ask permission. Granted, it's not going to mean much, but they still abide by those old traditions.
Yeah,
and we keep blanking out here.
I know.
There's the Gone Kids and Kittens,
safe at the plate,
which means we're going to step away for a couple of minutes here. There's a nice little, beautiful little video coming up. Robin Williams as the flag. I urge you to stick around. Anyway, we'll be back We'll be back in hour 2 with a little bit more. Stay tuned, and see you in a few.
Radio TFI.
You found Just Killing Time.
A real woman could stop you from drinking.
You have to be a real big woman.
On Radio TFI. Join the conversation. You can reach the guys at 754-800-CHAT, 754-800-2428. On social media, search for Radio TFI USA. From a payphone, call collect.
Excuse me while I whip this out. I'm the one that they're singing about. Yeah, I'm the Stars and Stripes forever. Star Spangled Banner. You can call me Old Glory, but let's just keep it simple. Just call me Flag. Oh, say, can you see? Okay. Little flag humor. Well, you probably don't recognize me. You say, who is that, Evel Knievel? No way. Yeah, you see, you can't recognize me because
I'm in my birthday suit, yes.
I'm wearing the original 13 here. Yeah. I remember Miss Betsy sitting there going,
oh, this could be the start of something big. Whoa. Oh, Tom, don't be a pain.
yes. I was born June 14th, 1777. That makes me a Gemini. Unpredictable, crazy. Yes, I like the outdoors, and I'm the life of any party, whether it be Republican, Democrat, Independent, Socialist, anything libertarian, I'll be there. You know, I'm 204 years old. People say, Flag, how do you stay so young? Is it jogging? No. Is it tennis? No. It's waving. You know, we're talking about billowing, furling, and unfurling. Richard Simmons, eat your heart out. Yeah, but it hasn't always been easy for me, though. I had a tough puberty. Yeah, war, famine, invasion. And 1861, well, I had a little skin problem that broke out into 34 stars. But now, well, little patience, and look what we got now. Look at this. Hold on here. Ha-ha! Ha-ha! Everybody's on here. Look at this. Alaska. Hawaii. Yeah, we got your Tennessee. How are you doing today? Here's Vermont. You can't get there from here. Oh, and there's California. For sure, totally. Like I said before, you know, I had a tough time for a while. I've been in a lot of wars. They fired missiles and muskets at me, but you know, come the dawn's early light, I'm still there. You know what I'm talking about? And you know, I've been made into everything from designer jeans to t-shirts, and I've even been a cape for Mick Jagger. Well, all right, the rocket's red glare, well, all right. But people haven't always been respectful to me. Sometimes it's been tough. There have been some people try and spit on me, trample me, burn me. Foreigners and occasionally some Americans too, but I don't let it get me down because I'm not a stay-at-home kind of flag. You know, I've been to Europe. I've been to both North and South Pole. I was at Iwo Jima. Recently, I've even been to the moon. You see me in all sorts of different postures. When I'm like this, that means everything is okay. When I'm upside down, well, put on your Mae West and hit the deck. But when I'm like this, well, that's not my favorite position because, well, that's half-mast. I don't mean to bum you out. I didn't come here to depress you. But I got to tell you something honestly. I haven't been getting out much lately. I guess it's not very chic to put up the flag anymore, you know. Muffin and I have a flag, but we haven't found it for very long. Hey, but look at it this way. Don't look at it as saluting me. Look at it as saluting yourselves. You know, hey, I'm just a flag, a symbol. You're the people. If I may say so from here, long may you wave.
Welcome back, everybody, to hour 2 of Just Killing Time here on Radio TFI and all the Radio TFI streaming things that we have, YouTube, Twitter, the actual radio itself, well, internet radio. My name is Ed. This guy's name is Bill. John is on super secret assignment. Bill is having a problem. Apparently, I can't hear you, Bill. Oh, that's why.
We're going to our on-site. Apparently, we've got a John Shannon sighting as we cut to.
Is that a fact?
He's been trapped in the corners, back in the back, deep. He's back at the stills of West Virginia, and he's getting some moonshine. Okay, well, the revenuers are tracking him, and as soon as we have an update, we'll let you know.
Ladies and gentlemen, our on the spot reporter Bill Fancher, who has never met a bit he couldn't interrupt.
Well, that's for damn sure.
So anyway,
what bit were you doing now?
Oh, I was doing the intro. By the way, the first 30 seconds of that, you were muted.
I noticed. Thanks a lot.
Anyway, he's still Bill. Much as we're trying to change that, I'm Ed. We thank you for sticking around with us. Much to my chagrin, and believe you me, my chagrin has seen some things.
Unfortunately.
So we're going to power through here with just the two of us, as difficult as it is. We miss young Mr. Shannon, and we will catch up with him as soon as we can. So what we're going to do before we get back into all the other stuff, Bill, you have no choice. You have to do it.
Cue the band.
All right, we are having massive technical issues here. We both just lost, our StreamYard is acting up. All right, first I just need to check. Bill, can you hear me?
Yes.
Bill, can you hear me?
I just love doing that.
You can't do that to me, buddy. When we, yeah, but not after we've had a technical thing. All right. Anyway, welcome to On This Date. This date is July 7th. July 7th. Let's start off in 1891.
Don't leave home without them.
Marcellus F. Berry, an American Express employee, is granted 4 copyrights for what he calls the traveler's check. In 1905, it hit 127 degrees Fahrenheit, that's 53 Celsius, in Parker, Arizona. That was the state record until 1994. So quit your bitching, Bill. In 1919, the Philadelphia Phillies tied the Major League Baseball record of 8 steals in an inning, the ninth inning, in a 10-5 loss to those New York baseball giants. What do you think about them apples there, Mr. Baseball?
You stole 8 bases and you only scored 5 runs? What the hell?
And you're making a ninth inning comeback. You steal 8 bases. All right. Let's see. Where are we here? Oh, in 1928, sliced bread is sold for the first time by the Chillicothe Baking Company, Missouri, using a machine invented by Otto Frederick Rowetter, described as the greatest forward step in the baking industry since
the invention of sliced bread.
No, since bread was wrapped.
Oh, okay. Ooh.
That was a trick question.
It was, wasn't it? You got me
Sliced
turned
bread
all backwards and everything. I didn't know what you were talking about, boy.
Sliced bread wasn't the greatest thing to be invented since sliced bread.
Well, it had to be just sliced bread's the greatest thing ever. Come on.
Well, but it answers the question. What was the greatest thing before sliced bread?
The egg.
Moving on.
Thank you.
Dragnet premieres on NBC Radio in 1949. Also a TV series in 1951 and 1967.
Just the facts, ma'am.
Just the facts. On this day in 1997, the temperature in Tower, Minnesota dips to 24 degrees. Where is Tower, Minnesota, Bill? Do you know?
You can go highway into Canada. No, actually, Tower is a little bit further south than the border.
The border of what?
Canada.
Everything's further south of the border.
Further south of the border than right on the border. Tower, Minnesota is a little bit, probably about 50, 60 miles south of the border.
And say it that way.
About 50 to 60 miles south of the Canadian border, eh?
Thank you, eh? Canada.
Yeah, Canada.
So it's a beautiful place. On this date in 1906, and he passed away in 1982, Satchel Paige was born.
I guess they finally caught up with him.
I was just going to use the phrase. If you don't know his phrase, you won't get that.
No, you won't.
Turning 97 today. Doc Severinsen of The Tonight Show turns 97. Do you know what his real name is?
Not a clue.
Do you know what his actual first name is there?
Not a clue.
Carl Severinsen. Turning 84 years old.
Carl.
C-A-R-L. Turning 84 today. Ringo Starr.
Yeah, that I knew because they're doing a big thing on Sirius Radio about his birthday and all that hoo-ha and stuff. So yeah.
Turning 75. Shelley Duvall.
No.
Her greatest performance was in The Shining, and her worst performance, no fault of hers, was Popeye. Starring Robin Williams, who, by the way, we watched during the break, and I hope you enjoyed that. Also, turning 65 today, Jessica Hahn.
How old is that Stain?
Do you know who that is, Bill?
Yeah, she's part of the Clinton hoo-ha thing. You're frozen, Ed.
We're having. Hang on, Bill. Jim. I apologize for the technical difficulties we're having here. Also, Jessica Hahn also appeared in the Wild Thing video with Sam Kinison.
Yes, Sam Kinison. That's right.
That's probably where you really know her from.
Well,
but
she also was in Penthouse magazine too.
that's where you know her from.
Hey,
Once a sailor, always a sailor, right?
what can I say?
Okay, I say. I'm not going to say anything more. Also, turning 60 years old today. Shocks the living daylights out of me. My youngest brother, Joe, turned 60 years old today.
Oh, boy.
Oops, I almost forgot.
Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
And many more. Shame about Shelley Duvall having to be stuck in a Popeye movie. I don't blame her. I blame the people that wrote it and directed it.
Yeah, but she did look like olive oil, so I mean, give me a break.
There's no question about it. Physically, there was no just like Danny DeVito. He was the perfect person to play the Penguin, but they ruined it with just a grotesque makeup. Look, I could have lived with him with the flipper hands, but the whole mouth and teeth thing, it was too grotesque. It was too grotesque. All right, we talked a lot about immunity in the first hour. And now we're going to talk about Project 2012. 2012?
Rented lips, Ed.
Humana. I want to apologize.
First day with the new lips. Moving along.
Here, you know what's going to make me feel better?
Ted Cruz, go fuck yourself.
Makes me feel better.
There. So we're just going to go down the list here of Project 2025, and this is Trump's plan for his second term, if heaven forbid this happens.
See how many of these you can relate to Nazis.
That's right. That's right. Well, if you see one you like, just shout out. We'll
shout it out.
With it. Shout it out. Don't be bashful. Again, you can call us at 754-800-CHAT, 754-800-2428. If you're watching us on the YouTube, just comment. We'll see it. It'll pop right up. It'll be a beautiful thing. If you're watching us anywhere else, shift over to YouTube. This way you can comment to us and subscribe while you're there. Appreciate it. It don't cost nothing.
Don't cost nothing.
All right, Project 2025. Are you ready for this, Bill?
No, but
Bill's quiet. When I need him to speak, he's quiet. When I need him to shut up, he just ba 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 ba.
That's my whole personality.
I get that, but all right. These are in no particular order, but I mean, it is a list. So, all right, let's start with the first one at the top of my list here. Put Medicaid on the path to privatization. Medicare. So it would seem to me that Medicare would then just become like every other insurance plan.
The Obamacare.
Well, they'll
kill that, so they'll just call it by another name. That's all. Yeah. That's all that's going to be is a name change.
I want to know how much truth there is to the story that Trump didn't know that the Affordable Care Act was Obamacare.
That I have been told is 100% true.
I want to believe that. I want to believe that so much. Mm-hmm. So, okay, put Medicare, privatize Medicare. You got to ask why. So prices can go up.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
And keep in mind,
the government doesn't have to pay for it anymore. That's exactly why.
Well, keep in mind now that all this is about corporations making more money, taking in dough. I can't imagine anything Trump's going to do that's not going to involve both him making money first, primarily, and then segundo, corporations making dough. Let's see. And I haven't
his brand name did so well on everything else. Now brought to by the new 2025 Trump Medicare.
That's right. Oh, speaking of which, here we go. Repeal President Biden's Medicare drug price negotiation program, which is basically what we just talked about. Is going to do away the got this down, especially insulin, down to $35 a dose a month. It's $30 a month or whatever it is. It's an incredible drop. And if you have diabetes, well, it's important. It's important. You know, the only thing that the government fully subsidizes is dialysis.
Yeah,
People don't realize that. That's why you see so many dialysis centers all over the place. Yeah.
Exactly.
Also threatening go ahead. Threatening Medicaid coverage for the hundreds of thousands that's going to go under 2025.
They've been wanting to de-six Medicaid for years.
Yeah. They're also going to reverse the Biden administration's student debt relief efforts. By the way, as a side note,
of course they are.
I got a little something about that I want to read off here about student debt. I was going to do this separately, but just pay attention. Grab a pencil if you need to. There's not actually money being spent to wipe away student loans. A student has a $20,000 college debt and has paid $250 a month for 10 years. They have paid $30,000, but still have an outstanding balance of $15,000 on the school loan due to the way they are written. The loan relief is saying you've paid $10,000 more than your loan value, so we're discharging the remaining balance. The loaner of the money already received the loan amount plus interest. And 18-year-old borrowers are ill-prepared to understand how long-term ramifications of these high-interest loans. Better forgive the remaining amounts to allow their spending to help the economy, like we did with the banks. So,
okay, here's your simple solution, Ed. It's a simple. Did I mention it's simple? Solution.
Tell me again.
You want us to eliminate your school debt, go into public service, join the military, do something along those lines, go to work for God Saves the Children or whatever program it is. But you do 4 years of some kind of civil service type program and we'll wipe your debt.
All right, but I think you missed the point there, Bill. Point is that in that particular scenario, the loan has been repaid plus 50%.
No, I understand what you're getting at, but what I'm saying is you take this route, the whole debt is eliminated. You don't have to pay the debt. So let's say I'm coming out of college and I've got $30,000 in debt. I join the military for 4 years. I get out of the military. I don't have that debt following me.
That's I understand that that's an option, but it's not going to be an option for everybody. What they're saying
no,
here
it's not.
is,
that's when you go to work for UNICEF or whoever the hell it is.
Okay, Bill, we're not talking about at the start of it all. Right now, you've got people who have been paying.
All right.
We're talking about the people that are 10 years into a 30-year loan that will see them paying, Look, if you want to do that as one way to mitigate student loans, that's fine. But right now, again, in that example, that very simple example, someone has paid for 10 years. They have paid $10,000 over a $20,000 loan. I'd say that's more than enough interest.
Yeah, this wasn't meant to be a home mortgage.
Well, and it's still expected to pay another $15,000 on top of it. So yeah. I think that's fair, and a lot of people think this is money coming out of the government's pocket. It's not.
No, it's coming out of the bank's pockets, basically.
Right.
And okay, you're going to sit there and say, why don't you just lower the damn interest rates? There's the keys. Okay, we're going to charge you 1% interest.
Why would the banks do that?
Yeah, because they're not going to make money off of it.
Yeah, but they didn't seem to mind when we bailed them out. We gave him a
nice
low
it's amazing how that happened, isn't it?
Let's move on. Trump will have us withdrawing from the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change and the Paris Climate Agreement, which he's done before. We already know he's going to do that. The plan is to repeal the Inflation Reduction Act, Biden's landmark climate law. So again, for people like Bill and I, we're going to be long dead before the effects of this kick in. But
yeah, but it doesn't make it right.
But that will be dead.
That's exactly my point. No, why should we have to leave this all the burden? I don't have any kids, but why would we leave this burden to all the childrens out there?
My point is that by the time you and I are gone, this planet just may be a hellscape. I mean, there's significant climate change now, which people want to go, oh, it's just the weather. We're not talking about weather. We're talking about climate. And again, this will be people not understanding what it is they're dealing with. And look, it's all about shredding regulations. Why? So corporations can make more money.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, they Project 2025 will shred greenhouse gas regulations and gut clean energy programs. Again, they just
we don't need to breathe anymore.
No, it's overrated.
We'll have developed new type of lungs where we can breathe in carbon dioxide and expel whatever the hell else is going to be there. But yeah, we'll adapt. We're humans. We'll adapt.
Next on the list, replace the White House climate advisor with someone focused on boosting the fossil fuel industry. In other words,
there you go. Because let's see. When was the last time a dinosaur walked the earth? Yeah, there's making new oil every day we talk. There's more oil. It just keeps replenishing itself because of all those dead dinosaurs.
The renewable resource. And by the way, kids and kittens, just so you know, all those electric cars you're driving around, they're not helping the planet at all. Yes, they're neat, they're quiet, but you know what it takes to build a battery like that? 2, charge that battery. You have to use electricity. How are we generating electricity? Fossil fuels. Until we can use solar and wind, although wind causes cancer in birds, isn't that what it is, if I understand this correctly?
Well, no, what it is they get hit by those
big
ass blades and knocks them out of the sky, and you can't fly too close to them and all that kind of stuff.
Open your eyes.
Messes up radio waves. Yeah.
Speaking of the climate, Project 2025 will give Trump the power to reject all climate science research directed by the Biden administration. Again, it's just like he did with Obama. He's going to come in. It's anything with Biden's name on it. Out. See ya. He's going to gut the federal workforce and install lobbyists by making tens of thousands of civil service fireable at Trump's will. So yes,
yeah. So you're going to have people coming that have absolutely no clue about what they're doing, and let's put them in those jobs. Everything will just run smoothly.
Again,
transition.
Bill sells me his car, gives me the keys. I get in. I take out 2 spark plugs and a rear tire, and a run as well. I haven't changed much about the car, just a couple little things, but changed a couple of things. Project 2025 will allow Trump to deploy the military against American citizens. We don't think that's going to happen.
Good luck with that one. We discussed that earlier. Good luck with that one.
We think there'll be some minor skirmishes, but I think overall, our military will go no. And then we'll have a military coup. I think this is how this all ends, is with a military coup.
Yep.
And
if he gets elected, yes.
If he gets elected. This is allow ICE to conduct raids at schools, churches, hospitals, playgrounds, and other sensitive areas. Which
Why not?
You can guarantee that to mean anytime the nice smelling clowns are reading stories, I promise you there will be an ICE raid. Yep. This
okay,
is
I'm going to ask you and probably thousands of people out there. Somebody stops you on the street.
Yes.
Boy, is you an American citizen? Well, of course I am.
Yes.
Prove it. Prove it.
That's right.
What are you going to do?
No way to prove it.
Unless you got your damn Social Security card in your pocket, you're in trouble. Or your birth certificate, for that matter.
Your Social Security card means nothing.
No,
Anybody
that
can get a
actually
social
means
security
nothing.
card, and we're having video issues. It means nothing. Bill is frozen there. I think there he is. You're back now. Actually, that's the whole basis of the Cheech Marin video, "Born in East L.A."
Well, I guess
Jan Michael Vincent pulls up, and it's a whole. You cannot prove that you're an
Where are you
American.
from, boy?
There's no possible way. Where are you from? Who's the president? Oh, that guy from Death Valley days, John Wayne. But anyway,
John Wayne.
that will just be. It will be horrendous. Make federal
You mean
government.
it'll be just like Nazi Germany again? Show us your papers, young man.
Only in English.
Yes.
Moving on. Make the federal government establish marriage between a man and a woman as the, quote, ideal natural family structure, unquote. That, look, I'm firmly of the opinion that if two people want to form a legal civil union, let them. You know why? Because divorce is a pain in the ass no matter what your sexual preferences are.
Yeah. I knew a gal in Minnesota that she was gay. She had a partner. She goes, I don't want to get married. I don't want to have to lose half my stuff. I go, welcome to my world.
that is just, you talk about just not letting people live and let live. You know.
Exactly right. You're giving them an advantage by not letting them get married. Come on. Look at all the divorce lawyers out there that are out of work.
How many gay people looking at their partners and going, not me, El Presidente. I'd marry you in a heartbeat. It kills me every day, kind of, sort of, in that little flamboyant kind of way. Project 2025 will withdraw federal anti-discrimination protections for transgender students. Student covers a lot of ground, a lot of territory. I mean, the social, look, if a girl, we've had tomboys for years, okay? We've had tomboys for years, girls that just feel more comfortable dressing in boys' clothes. And we've had lots of boys, lots of men who just feel more comfortable dressing in women's clothes, or they don't feel comfortable in their body. Now, look, I am in no way saying somebody should be allowed to have the surgery before they're a fully developed adult. The body's just not there for that. I will fight against that every day of the week. I don't even want to see them start taking the medication and whatnot. Now, once they hit a certain point, and it's not even an age thing, it's when your body is ready for that. When your body is ready to take the pills and the medications and start going through the surgeries, that's for a doctor to determine. That's not for me or Congress or anybody else. But hey, I think the thing we really need to do is, instead of harassing transgender students, is go after the bullies. That's what we need legislation on, is bullies.
You have a
because
point
remember,
there.
I just went through a thing with bullies. I'm 65 years old. I'm still being, that didn't work out well for them, but okay. On the same vein, next, transgender military ban and expel transgender service members. Why? If I'm in a foxhole,
because we don't want those guys in the shower slapping the other guy's ass.
But what's the whole thing? There's no atheist in a foxhole?
That's for damn
there's
sure.
There's no transgender in a foxhole either.
When the ground shakes, what do you do? Ground shakes, you look up.
Oh, here's, reverse the FDA's approval of abortion medication.
Oh,
this,
but of course.
This whole abortion thing. And again, let's put the disclaimer on it. Bill and I were born without uteruses. We have opinions, but women should be making all these decisions, not us. We're here in a support. My opinion means nothing. That being said, if I were a woman, I would imagine I would much rather take medication that will, if it has to be done, it's not going to be pleasant anyway you cut it. But I'd much rather take a couple of pills and have a couple of days of whatever it is than having somebody get up there with the forceps and, or however it's done. I don't even pretend to know what the procedure is. And I don't want to know. Honestly, I don't want to know.
You really want to know, Ed? Do you?
I do not want
really?
to.
Do you really?
No, I will make this a solo show. I'll be a one-man booth. Go ahead. Try it. Ladies, I applaud you. You needed to
No.
You need to have a master's degree in biology and mechanical engineering to be a woman. They have so much they have to contend with. We've got it easy. We get up, we pee, we go back to bed. It's done. All right. And we're sticking on the abortion thing here. Invoke a 150-year-old defunct law called the Comstock Act to ban the shipment of abortion pills, enacting a de facto national abortion ban. You don't need, if you don't want an abortion, don't get one.
Don't get one.
If your doctor says you can live without this, that's fine. But to tell somebody you can't have a medical procedure because my God doesn't like it. And by the way, your God doesn't say anything about it. And you're willing to risk a woman's life because of your hypocritical views, because I guarantee you, everybody that's screaming about, oh, abortion is bad, has screwed some poor girl in a motel room and then given her $300 when the phone call came. Senator, I missed my period. Put her in a cab and take her where she's got to go. This compels states to report the quote-unquote reason for every abortion performed within their borders. What do you care? It's none of my business.
Yeah.
None of my business.
Kiss my ass.
Sometimes it's medical. And finally, just on the list that I have, there's more. Allow states to ban employers from providing health benefits that cover abortion care. So
you have no right to tell me how to use my health insurance. You give me that benefit, I use it as I see fit. Not you.
Well, there you have it, kids. That's just some of the fun you can expect if Trump gets in again.
Get your hand on the buzzer, Ed. Get your hand on the buzzer, Ed.
Okay, go ahead.
It's all bullshit.
Watch your language, you bud. We're on the air.
You got to have one. It was called for.
Okay, thank you.
But stop yelling. We're having enough technical problems as it is. You blow out the whole system every time you yell. We're having problems today. I think it's Shannon in the back somewhere.
John's in the background screwing around with something.
So, just looking at this list, this just covers the tip of the iceberg. And remember, you've got the likes of Stephen Miller and Steve Bannon when he finally gets out of the who's gal, and
he's going to be hot.
He's here's a man that's never been wrong in his life. Just ask him.
No,
just ask him.
Exactly.
So, and again, this all plays into the immunity. Once that happens, and that's just going to, they're going to do this, immunity or not, they were going to do this.
Yeah.
But now.
And the Supreme Court will just sit back and go, oh, well.
But that being said, you know what Trump says about Project 2025 now? He knows nothing about it. I'm against it, but I know nothing, and I know nothing about it. How can you know nothing about it?
But I
don't know anything about it.
You schmuck.
Yeah. So,
well, how do you know he's lying? His lips are moving.
That's right. His mouth is open. Look, none of the Trumpsters are listening to us. which is a shame. But if you know one out there.
Well, yeah, my only hope in all of this is that, and I'm pretty sure in my belief he's not going to get elected. But let's go with the assumption he does not get elected. Then you come down on him like a freaking ton of bricks. You throw his ass in the deepest, darkest canyon and just be done with him.
Well, that's what they've been trying to do. But again, we play nice.
Stop playing nice. And I say that to you, Joe Biden, right now. Stop playing nice.
Much as I hate to agree.
Grab him by the cojones, shake him till he screams, and don't let go.
If you can find
a quantum leap assumption that exactly. We have to go back to Stormy Daniels to find out.
Yeah. It's look now his
the morals of an alley cat.
And that's an insult to alley cats.
That was. I thought, my God, Joe, you brought that one back from the 50s.
You crazy cats and jammer kids. You.
Yeah, there's all this going on.
I had a thought in my head. It's disappeared now.
Not been important.
It could not have been that important. I mean, there's only 18 more minutes of the show to go.
God, we're killing it already.
We are killing it. We're murderizing it today. And so anyway, like I was starting to say, if you know maggots out there, I know it's almost impossible to convince them of anything because they're not living on this earth. They don't believe because by the way, Trump doesn't get the numbers at the rallies that he used to, and he's not going into arenas anymore because he can't afford to pay for them, and no place will rent to him anymore. And he's been shut out of a lot of places. But he doesn't draw crowds. But even still, these people believe, well, he got 20,000 people at his rally and Joe Biden got 10. So what? That doesn't mean a thing. You're not voting at the rally.
No, it doesn't. Here's the main thing I come up with when I'm discussing anything with the Trumpers is that they'll sit there and they'll say that's so incredibly ignorant. And I'll say, oh, you believe that because an orange man from Florida told you so.
Mm-hmm.
That's my answer to it. You don't believe that, but an orange man from Florida told you to believe it, so now you do. But you won't listen to a white man from Texas.
No, I got a problem with that part too. And by the way, kids and kittens. By the way, kids and kittens, I've heard the orange man from Florida thing from young Mr. Fancher here more times than I care to think about. I think it's over now, Bill. It's over. You can stop using it. You feel better?
No, I'm not going to. The orange turd. So. We'll use that one.
Cheeto in charge, baby. Cheeto in charge.
That's it.
I know all that has to happen is people need to get out and vote. That's what has to happen.
Yeah. We beat him the last time, and you know, I don't believe the numbers have changed drastically. What Biden has lost, Trump has lost. There's people that have shifted sides in both directions.
Right.
So I don't believe that it's going to make a significant difference.
And by the way, anybody that based on that debate performance, if this is what changed your mind, really? You haven't looked at look at the past for both of them. And a debate performance? I mean, okay.
Notice one point where he really pissed off Unky Joe was when he said that they were losers and suckers. And,
right.
Joe got rather pissed off on that one.
But going back to that, I mean, look, forgetting the fact that Biden had a cold that night or whatever, forgetting the fact that, he's been running around like a madman. Let's face it, he is 80 years old, 81 years old. No getting around that. But all that being said, Let's look at what he's done. What has he done for you? By the way, this whole "are you better off than you were 4 years ago?" Yes, there's a million people in graveyards.
Yeah, that's for damn certain. I kept hoping that it'd get better in 10
million
days.
people in cemeteries that will tell you. Not so much. I got people. People will say, well, when Trump was president, the stock market did nothing to help you. It did nothing to help you. The people, most of the people that are the maggots do not own stock. Maybe livestock, but they certainly are not playing the market to where it affects them in any great degree. You know, maybe a day player here and there, but
well, people will ask me, what's Biden done? Okay, he turned the economy around from the brink, and they all go, you know, he's brought wages up. He's created more jobs. Understandably, a lot of those jobs were recovered from after COVID, but still, the unemployment rate is the lowest in history, and they all just roll their eyes and go, "Oh, that's just fake news." So there's no arguing with these people because they won't listen to facts.
Well, and again, it's the whole fake news thing, but where are you getting your information from?
If it's fake news, you're listening to your fake news on Fox. So, hey, blame yourself.
Even Fox is starting to shy away from it because they've had to pay
$880 million.
Right. Newsmax has to put up a disclaimer. They put up a disclaimer that whenever the 2020 election comes up, they put up a disclaimer that says Newsmax acknowledges that Biden won. It was free and fair. Why? Because they got their ass handed to them.
Yes,
and
they
it cost them a lot of money.
And where is all this damn proof? It's been 4 years. Where's your proof?
By the way,
where's your proof?
Yeah, Rudy Giuliani officially disbarred by the state of New York last week.
And the pillow guy, he keeps having, I've got more information. Yeah, well, got to buy a pillow first to find out.
I've said it before about Mike Lindell, and I'll say it again. Here's a guy that got past his addiction, managed to turn his life around, started a very successful business by any measure, whatever your metrics are, and then just blew it all to hell based on a lie. Look, this is a guy who is easily drawn in. He likes the action. Trump nailed it. Oh, he reeled him in. And forget whatever money he might have given to Trump. He has spent millions upon millions trying to prove something that didn't happen. And he's lost his business. His business is essentially done. What's left of it is how many people are out of work now because of my pillow had to shut down.
Yeah, let that be a precautionary measure for you. I mean, I'm going to give my business away to Donald Trump. Once again, the great businessman that's bankrupt 2 casinos, filed personal bankruptcy twice, and married 3 times. That's the man I want in charge.
The only business that has been successful, Trump, has been licensing his name.
That's it.
And
they're taking that name down off of everything.
Right. When these naming right things are up, they're taking them down. Oh, he's losing all that. Now, Mark Burnett, he of Survivor fame, he was also the executive producer of The Apprentice. He has a lot of stuff on video. He will not release it. He is a Trumper all the way. He won't.
Oh, that's why.
He won't. Him and his wife are devout Trumpers. He's got all this.
Surprisingly, he hasn't burned it all.
Oh, no, 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 no. You don't burn. You hold against.
Yeah, you hold it against. I was just getting ready to say this is stuff to
Oh,
keep
man.
in your hip pocket. I
Oh,
can't.
yeah. You never. This is why people get caught with this stuff all the time, because they're holding it to use against somebody. Look, I've got this in my hands that will just bury you. This is what's keeping you at bay. This is what keeps you from coming after me, is I can come after you. And that's what Burnett is doing, would be my best guess. I mean, whether or not, I don't know if it would sway the people to see him swearing up a storm, calling people the N-word and all that. I think it just might get them more excited, to be quite honest. And again,
No kidding.
Going back to the people that voted for him these past two elections, I think there's a fair amount of people that have had it with him, not the MAGAs, but Republicans that have, you know what, can't do it no more. Now, they either won't vote or they will vote for Biden. I don't even, because people like that, I can't see them voting for RFK Jr. if he's even an option in their state. He's not on enough state ballots for it to mean anything.
I don't think he's on
right?
the Texas ballot, believe it or not.
I think he's on about 10 state ballots. And it's pretty much, it's over and done with as far as all that is concerned. He won't make it onto all 50. That's for sure. So I firmly believe if everybody that voted Biden in 2020 comes out, those are the alive people. If you're dead, you have an excuse.
Yeah, if you're dead, don't. If you're dead, listen to me now. If you're dead, don't vote.
That's right. Don't, but don't let me catch you.
I know you want to. I know you want to, but just don't do it.
Don't do it. We don't need the aggravation, okay? Plus, you're going to be dragging body along. It's a whole thing.
It's just a mess.
It's a mess. But if all those people come out to vote again, because I don't think Trump has picked up any voters at all. He's not picked up any real voters. Because remember, half of these numbskulls are going to vote for him and try and do it. They're the ones that do the voter fraud. They're the ones that do the voter fraud. And half of them, they can't sign their name, let alone vote.
No, and what makes them think that he's not going to come for you, too?
They don't see
that. They don't care about you. No, they don't.
They don't see it.
And some of these people are moderately intelligent, which just amazes the living crap out of me.
Well, I agree. And look, again, a lot of these people are still upset that a black man was president for 8 years.
Ooh, no kidding.
And that has just burned them to no end.
Kind of time to move on from that, isn't it?
You would think, but this has got them all fired. That got them all fired up again. Remember, for the most part, I've said this before, they were shoved back under those rocks, and you didn't see or hear from them. Now you can't get away from them because they've been given permission. They've been given permission by oh, he's one of us. He's not one of you. I mean, he is one of you, but he wants nothing to do with you. He wants to be there. He wants to be hobnobbing with the high society who want nothing to do with him. Okay.
For the most part, that's true too.
That's not for the most part. That's the full part. Mm-hmm. They want nothing to do with him. And, he wants to be rubbing elbows with King Chuck over there and, and all that. It's he's got so many skeletons in his closet, and yet we can't seem that this is whack-a-mole, and we just can't seem to. But
no, it's because we keep playing by the rules.
That's right. We are playing by the rules, and he's not.
No.
And he's laughing at us. He laughs at us because, this may sound like, look, I've been seeing this guy around since the 70s and 80s. All right.
Yeah,
if you lived in New York, you were familiar with him. And he was always a blowhard. He was a big bag of gas. Now it's come out how big a bag of gas he really was. What a really
ask the people in the courtroom.
well there too. Oh, excuse me. My.
My.
I see. If you're sick, go to the hospital, man.
Exactly. Something crawl up and die.
Yeah.
You?
So. You still with me, Bill?
Yeah, you froze over there for a minute. Yeah, you froze over there.
Yeah, we've been having massive problems with StreamYard today.
Damn MAGAs out there screwing with us.
I believe so. I believe that they're coming after us
next week. I'll prove it next week.
Are you? How do you plan on doing that, or should I not ask?
I'll have the proof next week. Don't ask. I'll have the proof next week. Just wait.
All right, I'm with you.
Trust me.
Oh, that scares me more than anything else. That scares me more than anything else. I'm trusting you. That's believe it or not. Well, we're coming to the very end here, and if I can find what I'm looking for, as we should. Oh, I know. I don't have. I know what I want to show you. You'll get a kick out of this, and for the folks watching, you'll get a kick out of this too. Let me see if I can get. I wasn't going to show this now, but now I will. We got a couple of minutes. All right, Bill, I think you're going to get a kick out of this.
He's got some words. He says the strike zone. You see it? It's right here. Easy, Helen Keller. Let's start fucking calling this game right. Pointing his finger at the umpire. That's not going to go well. This kid has a bad temper. Anger management classes needed for this one. Now kicking. Dirty's fucking out of here. He throws him out of the game. Before that, he points the finger, tells the ump to go fuck himself, and now actually, we haven't seen this before, he's come back to the dugout, which is a good sign. It means he's gained his composure back, and now we will get back to baseball. Not a chance, though. Now he's coming out with two baseball bats. They're as big as him, and he says, fuck you, and then he says, fuck you. Throws his second when this kid is heated. If you hadn't seen it before, there was obviously some controversy in the last game as he approached the pitcher and had a field day with him, and now he's just saying fuck you to the umpires. Throwing every bat he has to his name, throwing it out in the middle of the field, and now we got a fucking a baseball jug being dumped on the field, and this is the epitome of disrespect as Stuart Little just dumps those balls. You can barely get them off, but that's it. That's the final fuck you. He is now making his way to the umpire to send him his last little words that he has, and let's see what it is. Slams the hat to the ground.
You know what? That's that's the Northwoods League. Northwoods League. I know who they were.
Oh, really?
Yes, we umpired some of their games when I was up in Minnesota in the Northwoods League. That's hilarious.
I thought you'd get a kick out of that, and I apologize.
Apologize for the language. But the language
as we
was
come
actually
sliding into
good.
home.
Oh no!
Yeah.
He's out. No, he dropped the ball.
That's going to do it for us here. Again, All right, let's do this for Bill. Bill's muted. Hey, we're done. It's been a technical nightmare today. Hopefully we'll see you again next Sunday. Maybe John will be here, maybe he won't. In the meantime, see ya!
TFI.